So now in game two, a lot of iron in the middle.
Yeah, a lot of
This might
iron there.
be this might be good for, both players if they want to go for maybe again scientific.
And
Well, then
this,
depending on the map, like right now, you can't really say too much.
yeah.
Oh,
Yep,
never mind.
Indecision was thinking about it, and he decided to. That could work out well for him. He spent a lot of time lining that up, and he could have used that time to at least blow through all of his other scans and explore the rest of the map, see what was going on, and see if that was going to be a good idea. Because we can see there are not actually... doesn't seem to be any adjacent water on this entire map from what Cubit's revealed.
Yeah.
No, he has found
Nope.
there are two
Two.
adjacent waters here, and they're both high, but that doesn't really play into your favor as a scientific. Cubit's going to go with the same thing he did last game, so we have another Scavenger scientific match.
This carbon spot, I don't know. I don't really. I think the other scavenger spot would have been better with all the aluminum. But hey, indecision is actually going to take that. But yeah, Cubit right now, doing the same thing. Actually having less carbon than last game, but I think he can manage. And indecision actually claiming a lot of tiles right now.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's just taken all that carbon and aluminum, which I'm a little unsure about. There's a high silicon here. I don't see too much silicon on this map. There's just the high over there and then the three lows right next to each other. And there's not a lot of water either. I can understand maybe claiming the carbon, but if your opponent takes the carbon and all that aluminum that early, he's going to be making nothing because he's just going to destroy both of those markets. And I feel like maybe it would have been a bit better to move into the water early. Another virtual reality day zero auction, though.
Ooh,
Nope.
Cubit getting that for 4,000.
Yep.
But yeah, what you just said, claiming this right here, those three tiles, and then not really making a lot of money. I think, since there's only two injected water tiles, on this map, I think you just should have claimed those, if I'm fairly honest. And,
I'm almost
Cubit
certain that's what Cubit's doing.
Yeah, Cubit right now floating over there with his drones, definitely claiming those. So I think that was a small misplay, and now, indecision is definitely very behind.
No, I would agree. Oh, actually going to go for one silicon and then one water. That's also reasonable.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Yeah.
I mean, indecision with his next claim should almost certainly grab the high water next to Cubit. But Cubit's definitely forcing that play out, and actually we see an aluminum surplus coming in right now.
Yeah. No, you know what? Ooh, indecision. Ooh, actually selling. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good play for indecision for sure. Because he, just can, switch over to something else.
Yeah, he needed to sell out of it, certainly. And then kind of let it fall. People can buy into it. And we see indecision actually going for the underground nuke immediately this game. I actually love this play. Cubit relying very, very heavily on his two carbon tiles. And they are both only medium tiles. There are no high tiles here. So an underground nuke is going to be extremely effective at reducing the amount of carbon Cubit's going to have available to him. On top of that, indecision, having taken up the other two carbon tiles and trying to make use of them, has secured those away from Cubit and might just be able to kill him by denying him access to his primary resource.
Yeah, this, maybe we said a little bit too much about indecision in the early game, or I at least did. But, right now, this actually seems like a really good play to do. Because indecision, maybe he's going to get that hacker array. And actually short carbon. First of all, making money on that, and second of all, hurting Cubit because, as you said, it's his, primary resource that he needs to upgrade with. So, right now, this, just looks like just a game. It's going to be fairly interesting because it's still even, but indecision, as you said, has that carbon, will have the advantage, but Cubit, still not out of this game since he actually goon squatted that one carbon tile.
Yeah, very important to do. Indecision definitely forcing his hand with that one.
Pirates are auctioning their services to the highest bidder.
3,000.
All right, pirate auction. This is worth quite a lot of money, actually.
7.
Getting control of that water market with pirates could be pretty nice for indecision, but it looks like he's just going to let it... Nope, okay. Everybody's still thinking it through.
I think, Cubit needs these pirates, just for that carbon that indecision has.
Yeah, there are a lot of things you could do with pirates at this stage of the game as either player. I'm sure that Cubit would almost certainly, well, he could hold on to them, but I would be a little surprised if we didn't see those pirates maybe go down onto the carbon or aluminum. The other option is to wait. Indecision is a scientific player. He might throw down some strong production elsewhere, and then Cubit will be able to grab that up and simply purchase the carbon and aluminum that he requires.
Yeah, right now, yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right, definitely, because, we're not seeing the pirates being played right now. Carbon right now is super cheap. So that's actually, going really well for Cubit.
Yeah, he just doesn't have any, though, still. I mean, he doesn't have any carbon. He's going to have to rely on this water income, and frankly, an underground nuke from Indecision onto that water could be pretty huge this game if he chooses to go that route. He's shown no fear of using that underground nuke and trying to understand exactly what it's going to do for him this game, and having Cubit's water income virtually just halves his income, because everything else he has is worth nothing.
Yeah, right now, aluminum, not that, high in price. And, as you said, Cubit doesn't really have anything else. He has these 2 wind turbines, but, they're not really producing much. They're only producing $27. That is quite a number to reckon with. Yeah, light starting to hurt Cubit actually quite a bit, since, he got those pirates. He got that VR in the early game. So, right now, that definitely hitting Cubit.
Oh, definitely. That's not treating Cubit well. And my concern about these pirates for Cubit is, if I were Indecision and I saw what was going on, when I push for an upgrade, I'm probably just throwing down glass furnaces next to my base. All of my valuable stuff is next to my base at that point, and my opponent can't take me out of it completely. We'll see what he does, though.
Yeah, Indecision just upgraded. As you said, taking that glass, I'd love to see that. Actually, taking that water, which you said
is reasonable as well. We talked about that for sure.
Definitely reasonable, but he still has 3 claims left, and yeah, 1 glass. Ooh, how about 2 more? That would be definitely interesting to see. And also, glass price, is fairly high.
Yeah, and Scientific's
right now.
Far more resistant. Wow, actually going to throw down a silicon quarry next to his glass furnace. That's odd, to say the least. I don't want to just straight up say wrong.
Well,
but I kind of want to say just straight up wrong. What is he going to do with this? I guess one of the things he might be considering is shortages caused him a lot of problems last game. He may be trying to avoid a situation where his opponent can completely lock him out of a market and just restrict Cubit's options on that hacker array that Cubit seems to lean quite heavily on in order to get anything done.
Actually, Indecision scrapping that 1 carbon mine, so let's see how that's gonna go. But right now, the auction for the pirates, Cubit with 12,000 right now. Actually, yeah, gets them. He has 2 pirates right now.
I think those need to go down on water before long.
I don't see where he's gonna place these. Like, he has 2 pirates. Hasn't used the first one. Indecision actually scrapping that 1 carbon quarry. So
the pirates do go down on the water, which is exactly where they needed to do, I think. And Cubit actually, he's also going to mutiny the water while he's pirating it, which maybe could have waited on the pirates if he was going to do that and see how the price fluctuates from there. But this was my concern for Indecision, was if he was going to take this water tile, I wanted to say he almost needed to goon it because it gives the opportunity for Cubit to use that mutiny to great effect and give himself an additional 4 water a second. It triples Cubit's water income. And when water's at $70 a second, that is a huge deal. Cubit has actually prepared another mutiny for this water, and we're going to have to see if he can make this play last long enough to survive whatever Indecision's doing in trying to buy him up right now.
Yeah, Indecision right now, actually taking that 2nd glass. I still don't know what he's actually doing with that, 1 silicon quarry. But, right now, Cubit, he just got hit with debt from life support and power, and, the stock price is just so low that Indecision can say, let me just sell a little bit of everything. And start buying out Cubit. So Indecision right now in the lead, having 21,000 in debt, and Cubit 70,000
Your stock is being
is,
bought.
that's definitely, quite a difference.
Yeah, Indecision already with plenty of glass production secured. This carbon quarry, or sorry, this silicon quarry, still a bit odd to me, and it's going to get frozen out by Cubit short term. Definitely something he, I think, needed to do since Cubit's moving into glass himself, but I don't see Cubit's edge this game. He's level 2.
We'll have this
Okay,
done.
now he's level 3.
We just need to locate
He's
some
got
spare
some
parts.
water. He's got this mutiny he hasn't used yet. I think he's maybe forgotten about it, gotten a little bit flustered as the game's moved on. And Indecision is just moving through the resources faster this game. So I don't really know what Cubit can do to bring it back.
Market is online.
Indecision right now, 70% out to buying Cubit, and that freeze definitely stops Indecision just a little bit, but yeah.
Well, there's a nice freeze there. We've got a mutiny onto power as well. But I don't know if power... I kind of understand going after power. Power's worth a lot. Cubit even moving into this water engine patent that comes up in order to make more money off of his power. That, I think, is a good move in the short term because he's just looking to survive for the moment. So he's going to be... he's going to be no longer consuming fuel, which is a huge deal right now.
Yeah, that's true. And also the EMP going down again on the glass for Indecision, and also making electronics right now. So I think, he feels safe enough that, he just can go into some bigger buildings and, just producing electronics. Right now, Indecision buying into the food shortage. Cubit actually not. That's not Cubit right there.
Cubit didn't have the money, is what it comes down to. He's having to spend so much just trying to stay in this game that Indecision's sitting on the cash. He's bought into the short, and he's got the 100% as soon as he sells out.
Yep.
Come on, just sell out, Indecision. Don't be cautious here. Look
All
at your
right.
monies. Did it go back down? No, it's still at 100. He just has to hit that control shift down. Sometimes you just gotta check. There it is.
Yep. GG. Definitely. That was what a game. What a game. Definitely that nuke in the early game to Cubit's carbon. I think that
I think
I
that was a
kinda-
strong move for sure.
shoved him into the advantage.
I do think both players may be making mistakes early on, though. Not valuing the water. And they both got into it a little bit. Cubit maybe even getting the slight edge there, but in that point, Indecision just had such a lead that it worked out okay for him anyways. But water we saw got up there, like $70, $80 water at some point maybe. We can even check. Insane resource graph.
Yeah, Cubit actually sold 23,000 water, and Indecision only sold 3,700.
Yeah.
So
My big
that's,
concern for Cubit, though, how much bigger could that water number have been if he hadn't tried to move into that oxygen fuel before he was ready to? That's my big worry.
Yeah.
That was a lot of carbon and a lot of aluminum going away from Cubit when he could not afford it at all. He suddenly, he scraps his aluminum income, and he's sitting on very low amounts of carbon, just 1.75 a second. Trying to transition your buildings at that point is almost certainly going to not turn out well when you can't upgrade anymore, because those buildings, in a 1v1 in particular, they don't have enough market pressure to sustain you the entire time, especially that early. And we saw that Cubit had to move out of them again later on and try and move into glass furnaces, and it was too many transitions on too few resources that I think killed him this game.
Yeah. Indecision, just selling a lot of steel, aluminum, with that aluminum shortage mid-game, selling a lot of glass. Yeah.
Definitely. Steel market partially showing its strength there for sure. Steel market just a little stronger than the carbon market.
And the black market, let's go to that real quick, because Indecision, the only thing that he bought on the black market was that single nuke.
Only the one thing. I love it. And so that's another $22,000 swing in Indecision's direction after we've looked at the other resource graphs. So that's kind of a big deal, realistically. I think Cubit made good use of the black market, but once again, he tried to do too many things and couldn't afford them. I think just sums up that game pretty well.
All right.